We've reached the end of the college football regular season. We have all the conference championship games going on this weekend, and then on Sunday, we're going to get our final 12-team college football playoff rankings. Now, entering this weekend, we already have a pretty strong understanding of which 12 teams are going to be in the college football playoff. There are a couple of teams that are still on the bubble, and there are a couple of conference championship games that have massive implications, but like I said, we already have a strong understanding of who's going to be there come Sunday. But before we get to all the conference championship games and we determine our final 12, I wanted to give my final prediction on the 12 teams I think are going to be in there on Sunday. But before we get to today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. If you're watching this video, odds are you love college football, and odds are you aren't subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe to one of the best college football communities here on YouTube. We're going to kick things off with a game going on tonight, and it's the only game that has playoff implications. It's the Mountain West title game between number 10 Boise State and number 20 UNLV. Now, all season, we've been hyping up Boise State as being a playoff team. If they win this game tonight, they're likely going to secure one of the first round byes. But not a lot of people have been talking about this UNLV Rebels team, and I actually have UNLV pulling off the upset. Now, it's not that hot of a take considering the Rebels are only a 4-point underdog entering tonight. When these two teams met earlier in the season, Boise State picked up the 5-point victory, but UNLV kept it close. Their other loss also came earlier in the year when they fell in overtime to Syracuse, who the College Football Playoff Committee currently has as the number 22 team. So this is a really solid UNLV squad. Over the past week, I've been talking about Boise State, how I don't think they're as good as we think they are, and how they're not deserving of the number 10 ranking. Sure, they kept Oregon close earlier in the season, but if we all remember, Idaho also kept Oregon close the week before. Boise State hasn't really been tested at any other point aside from when they played UNLV, and in the rematch, as we all know, it's really difficult to beat a team twice in one season. So I got the Rebels pulling off the shocking upset, eliminating Boise State from playoff contention. And with UNLV securing the upset victory, they'll be locking in our first official playoff spot as the number 12 seed. Moving on to Saturday's games, we're going to kick things off in the Big 12 title game. We got my Arizona State Sun Devils, who come in ranked number 15, taking on number 16 Iowa State. Now, I don't think anyone would have predicted this being the Big 12 title matchup at the start of the season. If you guys remember, Arizona State was actually picked to finish dead last in the Big 12 entering the year. Now, they're one win away from winning the conference championship and securing a spot in the college football playoff. I don't care if Iowa State would be favored by 40 points in this game, you know for a fact that I would be riding with my Arizona State Sun Devils. I've been riding with them all season. If you guys have been watching my videos all year, you would know that back in September, I had Arizona State in my top 25. Back in October when they were winning a couple games, I was saying, keep an eye on this Sun Devils team. Well, look at them now as they're a potential playoff team.
Same thing we said earlier in the week. Twist the knife. We have yet to finish the motherfucking game. We've yet to do that. All year. We've done the same. Finish the motherfucking game. With a vengeance. If we think we are who I think we are, a team that can compete for championships, we come out in the second half and we twist the knife. No pity for the motherfucking kitty.
We'll go to the SEC title game where we have number 2 Texas taking on number 5 Georgia. Now, this is a rematch from earlier in the year when Georgia dominated Texas. Now, I know I just said earlier beating a team twice in the same season is really difficult, but I have Georgia beating Texas once again in this one. But I do think it's going to be a lot closer than the first matchup was. Up next, we have number 1 Oregon taking on number 3 Penn State in the Big Ten Championship. Now, I know I've said in previous videos I don't think Oregon is as good of a number 1 team as we've seen in previous years, but I definitely don't think Penn State is a good number 3 team as well. I got Oregon beating Penn State, and honestly, I got them doing it pretty comfortably. Finally, we're going to wrap things up in the ACC title game where we have number 8 SMU taking on number 17 Clemson. I've kind of been leaning Clemson this entire way, but something in the last couple of minutes has changed my mind, and I got SMU pulling off the victory and winning the ACC this year. So with all of these results, here would be the first 4 teams that would be getting a first round bye. You would have Oregon getting the number 1 seed. You would then have Georgia likely climbing up and getting the number 2 seed. SMU would stay at 3 where they were last week as the number 3 seed, and then my Arizona State Sun Devils, they'd be sliding up all the way to number 4, and they'd be getting a first round bye in the college football playoff. Looking at the rankings 5 through 11, Texas would slide down to number 5. You would then have Penn State, who would likely slide down to number 6. Notre Dame, they'd be sliding down to number 7. Ohio State would remain at 8, and Tennessee would remain at 9. You would have Indiana coming in at number 10. Then finally, you have one spot remaining at number 11, and considering what the committee said last week about how these rankings are likely going to stay the same because the teams that don't play don't have more data points, so we have Alabama getting the 11th and the final seed. So in this scenario, number 5 Texas would host number 12 UNLV. Number 6 Penn State would host number 11 Alabama. Number 7 Notre Dame would host number 10 Indiana. And then finally, number 8 Ohio State would host number 9 Tennessee. Now, those would actually all be phenomenal first round playoff matchups. And you can sign me up for that. So really the only thing that's actually really shocking when looking at my top 12 is the fact that I have Boise State falling out and you have UNLV coming in. Now, in this scenario, I could have had Clemson beating SMU, and things would have been a little more chaotic, and the rankings would have been shifted a little more. But like I said, I'm going with the Mustangs over the Tigers, but that is still the game that I am the most confused on, and because Clemson does have 3 losses, this just seems like one of those scenarios where the 3-loss team is going to win their conference, and they're going to steal a bid in the college football playoff, knocking out a team that is deserving. But I guess in this scenario, if Clemson were to win the ACC, the team they would be knocking out would be a 3-loss team in Alabama, so that actually would be kind of fitting that a 3-loss team eliminates a 3-loss team. But if Clemson is winning their conference, they're at least more deserving than Alabama would be. Having Texas be upset by Georgia, I guess that's a hot take as well, but I think they're a 2.5 point favorite, so this game is essentially a pick'em. Well, those are my final predictions for the 12-team college football playoff rankings that we're going to get on Sunday. What do you think the 12-team playoff is going to look like 48 hours from now? Out of all the conference championship games this weekend, which one do you think is going to be the biggest upset? In the comment section down below, let me know who you think the conference champions are going to be, and also let me know your final 12-team playoff ranking. It could be a ranking that's similar to mine, or it could be a ranking that's completely out there and looks completely crazy. Whatever it is, I would love to see it, so let me know in the comment section down below. Before you leave, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to my channel. I'm posting college football videos every day leading up to the college football playoff, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video and you're up to date with all the latest news. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. It helps out with that confusing YouTube algorithm that nobody understands, but it does help share this video and my channel with more college football fans. Plus, it only takes a second to do. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in my next video.
Same thing we said earlier in the week. Twist the knife. We have yet to finish the motherfucking game. We've yet to do that. All year. We've done the same. Finish the motherfucking game with a vengeance. If we think we are who I think we are, a team that can compete for championships, we come out in the second half and we twist the knife. No pity for the motherfucking kitty.